because the only way to really grow your business is through 3 things.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to our channel.
In another episode.
If you guys are new here, my name is Brandy.
And I am Josh.
We talk about entrepreneurship, working remote, software development, and of course, freelancing.
Absolutely. And today we are talking about what does it mean to be a freelance web developer in 2019.
Yeah, so all the things that you could be thinking about becoming or think you know about becoming a freelancer, it's actually so much more.
Yep.
It's so much more than knowing JavaScript, HTML, CSS, whatever framework or whatever library you're using. There's so many other aspects that go in because when you're the freelancer, you are now the technical expert for your client and your customers.
Yes, absolutely. So what's maybe one thing outside of the obvious JavaScript, HTML, and CSS that they should know if they're entering the freelance web game?
Well, there are several things. I'll touch on a couple. The first one I would say, which you know, but SEO and analytics. Oftentimes companies kind of just expect that. If you're going in and you're building a website for somebody, the whole point of a website is to get people to either purchase something.
To be found, really, which hopefully if it's a physical location where you purchase the goods there, it's to lead people there so that they'll purchase there. So really it all comes back to sales and getting found.
Mm-hmm. And the biggest way to do that is utilizing stuff on Google. So knowing the tools that Google offer for free, which I was just actually telling him about the other day that they need to be using,
Yep.
but understanding that there's tools out there that you should be implementing in your different projects.
And then what's really important about that, especially being a freelancer, is you are a one-person business, or maybe there's a few of you, who knows, but knowing the SEO and the analytics side of things is another service you can offer to your clients to make more money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so SEO, analytics, being able to track that data and get found for a website. What's another thing as a web developer that they should know outside of the obvious?
Outside of the obvious?
Outside of the obvious, JavaScript, HTML, and CSS.
Oh, hosting.
Hosting.
That's
Absolutely.
a big one. And that's something that I've become like really good at because I've had to do it so many times. And understanding hosting and like domain switches, like servers, all that type of stuff. You, like I said before, you are now the technical expert for that person because oftentimes if you are new to freelance, you start bringing on maybe smaller clients or smaller businesses where they don't know anything about any of that stuff. So you need to know it.
Yeah, and you might be like, okay, hey, we need to set up a hosting plan. They're going to say, what? Hosting what? Mm-hmm. And so it's to you. They're not going to tell you or host their website, right? Unless it's maybe a tech company, a rare situation. But most of the time, they're not the ones handling the hosting. They're just expecting you to do it with the website because they're not even sure what that entails or that probably that they even had to do it in the first place.
So you need to know how to do it. You need to know the implications of what it is that you're doing. Like, is there going to be downtime? What other tools do you have to implement to the website before you can do this?
Yeah, basic monitoring so that you know if sites go down or just anything like that. You need to know the basics of hosting. You don't have to be a master at web infrastructure, but you definitely need to know enough to take care of clients, make sure their websites don't go down, make sure their websites are secure, and make sure that the thing they're paying for you is living and healthy on the web.
100%. And something that is kind of like back to the SEO part, but having a basic, if you're going to be a web developer, you need to have a basic understanding of website design.
Yes.
That plays a huge role in, website functionality, like how users interact with the website, what is going to make a user click something, or how you direct a person's eyesight down a web page, how you direct them to, a call to action or a button. And the other thing is because it affects SEO.
And what we'll say there as well, which is as a one-person business or multi-person business, design is another service you can offer to your customers to make more money as well. So if you can design the website, build the website, and host it, that is more money than if you only handle the one piece.
Yeah, it's so important. And when you're going in and talking with clients and maybe they're like, okay, well, we just want you to, design and build. Well, as you get further along in the project and you're doing a good job, you can revisit those other questions or those other add-on features, because 9 times out of 10, speaking from my own experience, which is more like a 10 out of 10,
Yep.
they're going to say, yep, just do that. What's it going to cost? Because they don't want to make that switch.
And they don't even a lot of times know that they have to find another designer or anything. They actually just, again, in their mind, you are the one-stop shop. And so in the freelancing game and being a web developer, you're really trying to build your business through web offering as your service, right? Building, designing, hosting, and then maintaining, right? Because the only way to really grow your business is through 3 things: customer acquisition, expansion, and retention. If you fall off in any of those, your business is either going to decrease or plateau. And so those 3 things can help you with the acquisition, right? You can do it all, so they don't have to go to 5 different places and some other stuff. You might need to do some SEO and stuff for your own website so that people find you. Designing and building is that initial revenue, and then expansion into all the different services. And then retention is the hosting and the Google Analytics and SEO, because that's something that has to be maintained and paid monthly. So
and that can be at the end of the thing, like, oh, hey, do you want me to continue doing this? It's just going to be a flat X amount every month.
Yep.
And as one person says yes to that, maybe it's $500 a month, and you get a few of those, that's a substantial amount of money where you're just simply managing their website and their content and their traffic. Because it all starts in the world of freelance, and I was just having a conversation with somebody today, it all goes back to trust. So if they can trust you with one aspect of their website, whether that's building it or designing it, they can then start to trust you with the other parts where we go into the expansion.
Yeah, so if you're starting freelance, especially in the web development space in 2019, we highly recommend, you don't have to be an expert in all of these fields, but definitely know enough to service and take care of your customers so that they don't go looking for somebody else that can do all those things. So that's really important in this day and age.
Let them know up front about all the things that you can do, even if you don't know how to do it perfectly. Like I've said 100 times in my videos, there is a link to a Slack group that I manage and hang out in all the time, and there's a lot of people in it that are experts in different things. So if you ever do have questions, feel free to join that Slack group.
Absolutely.
Because that's another big thing of being in freelance. You're probably working remote if you're a full-time freelancer. So it's really important to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, which is why I married this guy.
And vice versa.
So make sure to, pop down there, join the Slack group. I also have a freelance school where I actually teach how to get clients and how to, build your brand online so it's attractive to getting those clients.
Yeah, and that's a really good resource. When I first started freelancing, shameless plug, we figured out all this stuff the hard way, right?
Same here.
There's a lot of scattered resources that you can read about, but this really did bring it all into one place. Kind of sounds like we're kind of promoting or pushing it, but genuinely these are the things we use to grow our freelance businesses.
Yeah, we hope it's useful for you guys. But that is our video on how to become a freelance web developer in 2019 and probably 2020.
Yeah, I mean, technology is an aggressively evolving thing, so you always got to stay on top of it.
And the more you know, the more services you can provide.
The more money you can make.
Exactly. So the more things you know, the more tools under your belt, the better you're going to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to our channel below.
Thank you, guys.